Harry, in despair over repeated the same Edward's failure, warned his life fade slowly into obscurity. Royal commentator Nick Bullen said it was fascinating to compare Harry and his great-great-uncle, who abdicated in 1936 after less than a year as king, to marry an American divorcee. Mr. Bullen said Edward and Wallis Simpson eventually became irrelevant and questioned if the same thing will happen to the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, who quit royal duties last year for a new life in America. The royal expert, co-founder and editor-in-chief of True Royalty TV, made the comments ahead of the release of documentary The Royals Revealed, Harry and Edward, Princes in Exile. Mr. Bullen told, even though Harry wasn't the king and he didn't abdicate, he still has a major impact on the monarchy. I think the biggest lesson, or warning, that this documentary shares is the fact that Edward and Wallis Simpson's faded slowly into obscurity. They eventually became irrelevant. Will the same happen to Harry and Meghan as Prince William's children take to the world stage? It may seem far from now, but it will happen. What will happen to Harry and Meghan 10 years from now? Will they be the same stars they are now? Some historians have suggested that this is unlikely. Mr. Bullen claimed Edward and Wallis faded into obscurity and were slightly awkward guests at dinner parties in New York. He said, "The big lesson viewers will learn from this documentary is how the Duke and Duchess of Windsor sort of faded into obscurity and became bit players on the world stage. They were slightly awkward guests at dinner parties in New York." It raises the question, how long will Harry and Meghan Markle's values stay at such a high level? I think this documentary is a window to a story that has happened before and what could occur again. Mr. Bullen also highlighted similarities between Harry and Edward, who both married Americans, had rifts with their brothers and released their memoirs. The royal expert said, "It's fascinating when you draw the parallels between the two. Both of them married divorced American women. We all know that, but it goes much deeper than that. Prince Harry's attacks on the royal institution have been more damaging than previous scandals, according to royal commentator Robert Jobson. Since leaving the royal family in 2020, the Duke of Sussex has launched a string of attacks against his royal relatives, with his upcoming memoir threatening the potential for more damaging revelations." Royal expert Robert Jobson said, "I think Harry actually has probably done more damage. He's up there in terms of the modern world of the damage that's been created, he's up there with the abdication. In terms of the feedback we've been getting, the damage of the institution, and the potential, we haven't even seen it all yet. We've got the book coming out, the same year that his grandmother is celebrating 70 years on the throne." Prince Harry and Meghan Markle announced their intention to step away from the royal family in January 2020. Since then, they have relocated to California and have conducted a number of high-profile interviews where they have criticized the British monarchy and their royal relatives. The couple claimed that whilst working for the royal family, their mental health had been ignored, leaving Meghan to feel suicidal whilst she was pregnant. Prince Harry spoke of the rift between himself and Prince Charles, saying he felt really let down and claimed that he had been financially cut off from his family. During their bombshell interview with Oprah Winfrey, the couple revealed that a senior member of the royal family had made a racist remark about their unborn son. The allegations created a PR crisis for Buckingham Palace, with Prince William responding to journalists, "We are very much not a racist family." Prince Harry went on to appear on Dax Shepard's podcast Armchair Expert and gave another interview to Oprah for the docuseries The Me You Can't See, where he similarly spoke negatively about the royal family. He referred to the genetic pain and suffering within his family, and said he had seen behind the curtain and no longer wished to be a part of the monarchy. He also compared being in the royal family to a mixture of being in a zoo and being in The Truman Show. On July 19, he announced he would be releasing his wholly accurate and truthful memoir, which has sparked concerns that he could reveal more unflattering details about the royal family. The memoir is due to hit bookshelves in late 2022, which will coincide with the Queen's Platinum Jubilee celebration, to honor her 70 years as the British monarch. The royal family have endured a number of scandals over the years, with many drawing parallels to the abdication crisis of 1936, when Edward VIII decided to abdicate the throne in favor of marrying his mistress. As a two-time divorcee, Edward VIII was unable to marry his American mistress, Wallis Simpson, as the Church of England frowned upon the remarriage of divorced persons. He decided after 9 months to abdicate and left the throne to his younger brother, who subsequently became King George VI. The shocking decision paved the way for his young niece, the then Princess Elizabeth, to eventually become Queen.